as required by the Open Public Meetings Act, it was provided on December 5th, 2025 by posting the notice with the respective clerks of the city of Lambertville, Borough of Stockton, and Township of West Amwell, and advertised in the Star Ledger and Trenton Times newspaper. You all join me for the salute to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call.
Jennifer Macklin. Here. John Bonani.
Here.
Martha Dennis. Here. Paul Fontigno.
Here.
Gina Bichetti. Brian Keys.
Here.
Aaron O'Leary. Ryan Todd Marino. Here. And Michael Stroud.
Here. So this evening's program or meeting brings in something in two different ways that I think is really important to the school environment, which is community. So we are going to start with a recognition of a new initiative that we took on called the Community Classroom. And Mr. Souza would like to share a little bit about it.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna have kind of like slides playing in the background as I talk. So feel free to look at those and listen to me at the same time. So the history here, some of you in this room were part of that history, right? Where in 2023, we met several times to develop a new strategic plan for our district. And we had several meetings for our strategic plan. And one of our goals, goal 2, was community engagement. And specifically, establish, maintain lasting collaborative relationships between the district and its community in order to enrich and engage learning experiences for both students and community members. And then specifically, as far as one of our sub bullets of that goal, establish a network of community members as resources for teaching staff to use to make connections between classroom content and career exploration. So we talked about that starting it this year, right? We, as a strategic plan, you kind of lay out your goals and kind of what different things are going to attack different years. Our strategic plan goes from 2023 to 2028. So this was the year as we started out the year, and specifically in our school and community committee, we talked about how can we establish this and try to get this off the ground. So one of the ideas that we had was, could we try to develop a database of community members, parents, business owners, whoever it would be, that would be willing to come in and make a connection with our teachers and to try to bring some real life application into what our teachers are doing each and every day with our kids. We all remember when we were in school, our teachers know now, kids are always saying, how am I going to use this? When am I ever going to have, use this in my real life? So that was important. So we put it out there early in the year in September, kind of launched it at one of our board meetings, put out a Google form, and we started to get names. And it started to pick up momentum. And then what I did was I put out a Google form to our staff and said, hey, if you're looking for someone at some point in the year to try to make a connection with your content area that you're teaching, let me know and we'll see whether or not we can kind of merge the two together. And quite honestly, it really started to evolve even a lot better than I thought it would. I think from the school and community side of things, we thought year one, if we could get some people in just to kind of gain the momentum. What you'll see is on these lists, we had 41 people, I think, that came in throughout the year. And I apologize if I missed anyone, because I probably did. I tried to track this down. Next year, we'll do a little better job of tracking, but I tracked it down with our teachers and was able to kind of go through and look at and obviously get pictures. A lot of the pictures you'll see are from our news bites that we send out, and they're on our website every 2 weeks just to kind of capture these. And it kind of spanned the gamut, right? We had folks that came in from the elementary side of things. We had folks that came in from the middle school side of things, and we had folks who came in with our high school. So I had an opportunity that, like what I told our teaching staff was, hey, if this is going on, let us know. One of us will try to get down there. I'd love to be able to see it. If we can't, make sure you get pictures. And we were able to do that. And by the end of the year, the number of people that came in was awesome, right? And just, I think our teachers embraced it even more than I, teachers are busy with all the things they got to cover and get through at the end of the year, but they really did embrace it. you'll see there's some content areas, you know, especially that embraced it. And all the feedback was very, very positive, where there was connections made. I know in some of the classrooms I was in, kids made connections. Oh, I see how I was in an AP stat class, and the person who came in was talking all about how you use this in everyday life and her job as a statistician. And oh, I could see why the formulas and this is how this works and all those different things. So that was really, really cool. So that's like step one, right? We want to continue to build this. Now we have a database already with a lot of names and contact information. Obviously, many folks that are in this room right now. We want to build on that and continue to build on that. And then I'm hoping that you all had an opportunity. Last week, we released a press release for the high school on a new program that we're starting called a Pathway Program. That's going to be starting in September for our 9th graders. And the goal of that program, if you didn't see it, I highly recommend you do. It's on our Facebook pages. It's also on our website. If you look under the news section. So what's going to happen is next year, our 9th graders all are going to be required to take what's called a career and college course, exploration course, where they're really going to learn about, start and thinking about what is my pathway? What do I want to do eventually when I leave South Hunterdon? And what will happen is that will progress to the point where next year we are going to have speaker series. So what that means is we are going to look for some of you and others to perhaps come in once a month and during our flex period for our 9th graders and our 10th, 11th, and 12th, by the way, because we don't want to forget about them, even though we're phasing in the program. We're going to have folks come in and hopefully kids will be able to sign up depending upon what pathway they have interest in. And we have 3 pathways right now. And if you read the article, we'll give more information, but that's going to be great because then it's another opportunity for our high school kids to say, hey, I want to sign up for this and go listen to this person, kind of give an overview of how they got to where they got to, right? And what did their path look like? When our students in 9th grade eventually get to junior year, we are then going to be looking to do work-based experiences, right? So we want our kids to be going out during the school day to get experiences, not just hear about it, but actually go out and experience. So right now with our program, we're looking at doing 2 job shadows in our junior year and then 2 field experience in our senior year. Well, that's where you all come into play, right? Because we're going to be looking to develop partnerships with community members and businesses to place our kids, right? So if we have a student who's interested in starting their own business, we'd love to have a business owner where they can do this field study with and get an idea of what is this all about? Is this really what I want to do, right? And the goal will be by the time our kids leave senior year, they've had 4 different experiences between their junior and senior year that hopefully will direct them in a pathway, right? It may not be the exact pathway where they wind up. There's a lot of research coming out talking about how kids are graduating from college and then are going into careers that had nothing to do with what their degree is in, right? A lot of times you may have had experiences yourself or kids experience. They get to senior year and they're ready to graduate college and are like, I don't think I want to do what I've been studying for the last 3 years. So either I'm going to continue in school, which is only going to be more time and money, or I'm going to have to figure it out or eventually go back to school. So what we're trying to do is give them a leg up, right? For our parents and our kids, maybe save them time and money. So they may experience some things and they may not like some of their experiences that they really thought they were going to. You know, we did a lot of research on this program and we talked to other school districts in Pennsylvania that are doing it because it's a graduation requirement. You know, we heard the stories where the student came in day one, I want to be a lawyer. I wanted to be a lawyer since I was 6 years old and I'm going to be a lawyer. And then they did their internship and they said, I don't want to be a lawyer ever. I hated it, right? I thought I wanted to be, but I don't want to be, and I want to be something different, right? So it's a lot better for that student to figure that out maybe now than down the road after they put in a lot of time and energy. So, you know, on behalf of the district, this was a huge success year one. We want to continue to build on it. We're going to need our community resources in order to maintain and build this high school program that we now have. So we're hoping that maybe for you, the next step would be continue to do what you're doing, right? Where we pair you up with teachers. A step beyond that might be you're willing to come in these monthly speaker series. All right. Last month, we board approved James McManus, who's going to be our new pathway coordinator. He's new to our district. He's coming with a lot of exciting and innovative ideas. he's going to be starting to tap into. I'm going to pass along all this contact information I have and say, James, these are people you can tap into, and maybe they're willing to come in once a month and you know, for this program. And then eventually, whether it's you or perhaps an extension of you and people that you know that are in the field, right, or in different fields within our community, trying to get those placements for our kids, right? Trying to get each and every year, you know, we typically graduate about 65 kids, so we're looking for 65 placements in our senior class and then another 65 placements in our junior class. And the nice thing about us is we're small and we can do this, right? School districts that maybe have 500 kids in a class, that's tough, right? To try, and that's why, quite honestly, I'm not really aware of any of the New Jersey school districts that are doing this right now at the high school level. You know, there's a lot of talk about career, but there's not this experience where you're actually going out, unless it's a specific work-based program, but that's usually only for a certain population of kids. It's not for all the kids. All of our kids would do this as part of their experience at South. So again, huge kudos to you. You made a definitely a lasting impact, not only on our staff, but on our kids. And some of you came in more than once. I know that. Multiple times, different grade levels, different schools, even different topics. So we truly appreciate that. And that's why I decided to put all these names, not knowing who's going to come tonight, but obviously I see a lot of faces out in the crowd, and it was a huge success. So thank you for giving your time and your effort. I know our teachers thank you, and we look forward to only building this bigger and better down the road. The board, anything from the board? Just, I mean, school and community, if you want to.
To echo what Tony said, we really didn't expect to have such success, and we know that the communities are rich with experience and information and talent. And so having our kids have that opportunity to meet people and to have that partnership is just so wonderful. We're so grateful to everybody that made that time for us, the kids. I'm disappointed the chicken's not here though.
Oh, yeah. Chickens, they were a big hit.
Yeah.
So if you are here tonight and you're able to stand up just to be recognized in our program, round of applause. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Perhaps they could go out for.
Yes, that'd be great. If we could get you all out in the hallway for a photo with Miss Lennon, that would be outstanding.
Thanks for my shorts.
That's right. Bad out.
And then we also have another level of celebration this evening as well, as two of our community members within the schools will be exiting, hopefully, at least at their current role.
All right, so it's an honor and a privilege to present to the Board of Education for recognition our 2025-2026 class of retirees. Each retiree has demonstrated excellence and incredible work ethic, dedication, and professionalism during their career in our district. They've done an outstanding job supporting and servicing students, staff, parents, and our community. And I'm going to first call up Principal Adam Wright, who's going to talk about one of our retirees.
Good evening, everyone. It is truly an honor for me to be here tonight as we recognize and celebrate the remarkable career of special education teacher and coach, Mike Vergolito, as he announces his retirement from the South Hunterdon School District. Mike has dedicated his life to supporting students both in and out of the classroom through his compassion, leadership, and unwavering commitment to education and athletics. Before joining South in 2017, Mike spent 21 years with ESC as a special education teacher, impacting countless students through patience, understanding, and an ability to help every child feel valued and supported. Beyond the classroom, Mike built an equally impressive coaching career that began in 1992 at Hunterdon Central Regional High School, where he served as an assistant football and lacrosse coach before becoming the head lacrosse coach in 2005. In addition to coaching two demanding sports programs, he also dedicated his time to middle school basketball programs in Kingwood Township, Delaware Township, and here at South. Throughout every role he held, Mike's greatest strength has always been his ability to connect with students, athletes, colleagues, and their families. His calming presence, friendly demeanor, and relationship-centered approach created an environment where students felt comfortable, respected, and encouraged to succeed. Mike's impact on South extends far beyond lesson plans, practices, and games. He has been a trusted mentor, supportive colleague, and positive role model whose influence will continue to be felt for many years to come. On behalf of the South Hunterdon staff, administration, Board of Education, and the many students and athletes whose lives you have impacted over the years, thank you, Mike, for your time, dedication, and unwavering commitment to building meaningful relationships within these walls. We wish you nothing but happiness and success in your retirement and your future endeavors, and we sincerely hope South Hunterdon will continue to see you as a familiar and welcome face in the years ahead. Mike Vergolito. Yeah.
Tonight, we recognize someone who truly represents the heart of South Hunterdon, Eric Zimmerman, or as generations of students came to know him, simply as Zim. Eric dedicated 33 years to the district, serving as a bus driver. One thing never changed over those 33 years of driving for us: Eric's unwavering commitment to our students. Every district has what I call legacy employees, the people who become woven into the identity of the school community itself. When you think of South Hunterdon, you think of Eric Zimmerman. Over the course of his career, Eric reached a remarkable milestone that very few people ever do. He finished his career driving the children of parents he once drove when they were students themselves. That kind of longevity speaks volumes, but it also says something much deeper about the trust, consistency, and care he brought to work every single day. For many students, Eric was the first person they saw in the morning and the last person they saw before heading home. He understood that mattered. What many people may not know are all the little quiet acts of kindness Eric carried out behind the scenes. He genuinely cared about his students, especially students who may have needed a little extra support. Whether it was helping to pay for a prime ticket, a dress, lunch money, or making sure a student can feel confident and included, Eric stepped up without seeking recognition. That was simply who he was. He also was the kind of employee who never said no when the district needed help, no matter the time, no matter the circumstance. Eric was there, dependable, loyal, and dedicated. One of the most powerful moments this year was the clap out held on Eric's final day. Our entire high school student body, joined by staff, lined the hallways to show their appreciation for Z. It was a reflection of the impact he had made over more than 3 decades, not just as a bus driver, but as a trusted adult, a mentor, a supporter, and a friend to so many. Eric, on behalf of the entire South Hunterdon community, thank you for your years of dedication, compassion, and service to our students and families. Your impact extends far beyond transportation routes and bus runs. You help shape the culture and the spirit of this district. We wish you nothing but happiness in your retirement. May you enjoy every minute of it, especially your sunflower harvesting and sharing those sunflowers with local businesses throughout our community. Congratulations, Eric. You will always be part of the South Hunterdon family.
All right. Congratulations. Nice. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. Nice. Oh. Good. Okay. This one now? Congratulations. Thanks. Go. Hey,
it doesn't look like our student representative
No, no,
here this
no.
evening. Do we have anyone from the PTO here this evening? Ellie, yeah. Everyone is enjoying the wonderful weather. We did get some correspondence and included a response here as well. So acknowledging that. And moving on, we need to approve our minutes from the last meeting and executive session. I get it.
So,
John. Second. And Martha. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any abstention? That said, we will turn out the lights again and go on to our superintendent report.
All right, just a few things that I wanted to bring up to date on. First, which I know we've been doing updates each month, but the update on the sale of the West Amwell School. So our buyer did ask for another extension of due diligence, another 30-day extension, which we did grant. There's actually an addendum on our finance agenda tonight that the board will be approving later in the meeting. So now we have a due diligence period, which ends on June 18th, 2026. And I will share that the addendum does actually have a closing date, where before it was more just we have to close in a certain number of days. Now the addendum actually has a closing date of July 17th, 2026. So we will keep you updated. I think we have a meeting a couple days on the 22nd of June. So it'll be a couple days after the next due diligence period ends. All right, so I wanted to share this information. I know this has been a topic of the future of iReady. So after much discussion beginning in the 2026-27 school year, the district will be discontinuing the use of iReady. While this change marks a shift in the tools we use, our commitment to using data to drive instruction, interventions, and programming will remain strong. We will continue to utilize multiple measures to monitor student progress and ensure students receive the support and enrichment they need. As part of this transition, the district will place a greater emphasis on hands-on learning experiences. We'll be talking more about that in the coming months at our board meetings. More meaningful student interaction and instructional practices that reduce overall screen time. We believe this approach will help foster deeper engagement, collaboration, communication, and critical thinking skills while continuing to support high levels of student achievement. So I just wanted that to be out there. Obviously, you know, our teachers didn't even know this until tonight, so I'll be sharing that with our staff tomorrow. But, you know, we'll be talking, like I said, in months coming before the next school year of what that really looks like with hands-on learning. We're really excited about some of the things that we'll be moving towards. Okay, I did want to mention this. I hope it didn't get lost. It was on Facebook. Congratulations to Jason Miller, our athletic director, who was voted Skyline Conference Athletic Director of the Year. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Jason. I know it was on social media, but I wanted to just give a shout out at a board meeting and congratulate him for all the hard work. And, you know, just going along with it, I'm sure everyone saw that we finished our turf project, which we're really excited about. We had our first game on last week with our girls flag football team, which is a huge success. And we're really excited about being able to get that off the ground and being able to utilize it throughout the entire school year. And then finally, one of the most important things of the year, typically in this meeting, I like to kind of celebrate our class of 2026. So we usually put something together that shows, you know, where our kids are going to be going next year. We're really excited. You know, May 1st was decision day. So, you know, I go to our counselors and they put together a list for us and then we put it into a graphic. So I'll be sending this out, obviously, you know, as part of my update tomorrow. But, you know, for us, this is a big driver of, you know, student success, right? When we look to measure student success, we have kids going to great places. We have kids that are doing other things as far as military or workforce. They're really doing some great things. And obviously this will play well as we continue to move forward with our pathway program that I talked about earlier. But for me, this is a great culmination of the year of all the hard work of our staff, our kids, the board, kind of wrapped up into one slide. So obviously we're in graduation mode. The 95-degree temperatures today didn't help. But our seniors are starting to get close to that point where we're starting to get into graduation mode is coming.
And Tony. That's reflective of where our seniors are going. That doesn't even include all the additional schools that they got accepted into, that they had to make decisions. I wanted to say something last year because it's like, they're getting into a lot of good schools. So that's showing where they're going, but there's a whole other list of schools where they're not.
Lots of conversations with our seniors about, you're exactly right, Brian, like, here's the 8 schools that I got into, and this is how I'm making this decision, that decision. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of options. It's not kids coming to us saying, I got in one school and that's the only school I can go to. So that's an awesome thing, and that's a huge benefit to our kids for their hard work, but also to our staff and the board and our community and their parents, obviously, for all that support. Any other questions about my update?
Lots to celebrate there.
Yes, there is one. So,
That is going to bring us to our first period of public comment. So we do have rules around public comment. So please, 3 minutes, keep it respectful. And if you would like to make a public comment, please introduce yourself and give the municipality you are coming from. Feel free to approach.
Hello, board. My name is Lauren Braun-Stromfels of Lambertville. I wanted to take a moment to continue kind of making some comments around the use of technology. I'm pleased to see the decision around iReady and what you're planning to replace it with. Furthermore, I've been seeing some things at home with my middle schooler with the Chromebook in particular, that she's using it to look at her Pinterest account and basically do things that once the phone time runs out. So it's kind of a continuation of her personal, she sees it as a personal device, not really a learning tool. I don't really want it in the house, to be honest. But I say that because I think more just about the ways in which we can continue to encourage excellence. I think, again, our size, you pointed this out with some of your comments, our size really is an advantage, I think, in how we might be able to work with, again, styles of learning approaches in classrooms, approaches in curriculum that would encourage students to develop executive function, competence over long stretches of time, over complicated projects, in ways that I'm not seeing right now in the curriculum, and that is somewhat concerning to me as a parent of two children. So that's something I think as well. I'm sure we've seen some of the, like there's mixed initial evidence about whether phone bans work, don't work. I don't actually think we need to get into that. I think more of, again, the point of like, what is our purpose as a district, educating students, helping students to navigate a world together, and navigate, right, different kinds of information, different ways in which they're performing inquiry and modeling inquiry. And I just think, again, that less and less and less is that we need to use technology as the tools to open that world to them and invite them into it. So I continue to kind of see technology in the education setting more as a cost in many ways, not just financial, and potentially a barrier that we can experiment with doing things differently. So that's, I just wanted to kind of lay that out. I'm really appreciative to see the way the board took on the strategic planning goal of community involvement. I was part of that group. And so that's really positive to see, and also see such a responsive board to the concerns of students and parents, and the larger world right around, particularly the issue of technology in the classroom. Thank you.
I do want to just say, as we talk about our curriculum committee report this evening, there was significant and robust discussion about what you were just saying, and hopefully you will see that in our committee goal when we present. Anyone else? Okay, Not seeing anything online either. We will close this public comment session and then move on to curriculum and technology. Ms. Fischetti is not here this evening, so I will actually be doing that presentation. And as I just discussed, we did have a pretty long discussion on all of this. But the first thing that we did is that Ms. Lennon informed us of our summer curriculum that we will be having teachers develop both the Pathways program and science. We will be bringing that in line with standards and make sure that we are aligned in both 7th and 8th grade for the future. Also a much more hands-on approach there. And we will also have the elementary ELA and math standards updated. As many of you know, QSAC is part of our audit process, and our standards do need to just be updated to align with our QSAC coming up. And then our final thing is that we will be introducing the Character Strong program in next year, and Ms. DeZalvi will be writing a curriculum around that and making sure that it goes into our on-course framework. And again, that is not only navigating our world interpersonally, but also navigating with technology as part of that as well. And executive function, yes. So that will all be worked on over the summer, and we should be approving that hopefully in August. We did finalize our committee goals, and you can find them in the minutes, but basically we wanted to really emphasize critical thinking skills and collaboration, and that we again went back to academic rigor for every child as something that we are looking for. And then the second goal would be ensuring that district-wide technology practices align across both our use of analog and intentional use of digital technology. We did go ahead and table the AI guidelines. This is such this is a larger issue than just our committee, and we felt like the entire board needed to be involved in this. So the board will be having a workshop session in June that everyone will be participating in the discussion. So that was tabled. We also did get an update from Mr. Zuzo on how STEM will be handled in the future in the middle school. And then finally, we talked about screen time reporting and really what we were kind of trying to get at from all the reporting and evaluate how we would be doing that for the future. With that said, we do have a bilingual waiver that needs to be moved forward for approval this evening. I get someone to. Thank you, Ronnie.
Second.
Thank you, Brian. Okay, this is a voice vote.
Correct.
Or is this roll call? Okay.
Jennifer Bachelor,
Yes.
John Bonani,
Yes.
Martha Bennett,
Yes.
Paul Figno.
Yes.
Gina Bichetti, Brian Keith,
Yes.
Aaron O'Leary, Ronnie Todd Marino.
Yes.
And Michael Scott.
Yes. Okay, personnel committee, Mr. Keys.
So Personnel Committee met Wednesday, May 13th at 7:30 via Zoom. We discussed and reviewed the following appointments: leaves of absence, substitute teacher, substitute secretary, extracurricular appointments, all for approval this evening. And tonight we'll also be approving all salaries for all employees for the 2026-2027 school year. We also discussed an open positions. I'm specifically Director of People Services. And correct me if I'm wrong, Tony. So approximately 28 candidates. They've chosen a 12-person committee to conduct the interviews on May 28th. The goal is to identify 2 to 3 candidates to move forward to the next round. And the final goal of having the final candidate presented for approval in the June board meeting.
You got it.
Okay, thank you. With that, so I'd like to move items A and B.
Let's vote. Oh, discussion, I'm sorry.
I will be recusing myself from section A.
Okay, so shall we vote in two parts?
No, it just,
Look at that.
You want to just.
You just say-
Whatever.
just abstain. So John Bonani, Martha Dennis.
Yes.
Paul Baltigno,
Yes.
Gina Bichetti, Brian Keely,
Yes.
Aaron O'Leary, Jennifer Bachelor.
Yes.
Bonnie Marino.
Yes.
And Michael Farrell.
Yes. Okay, our policy committee.
We did meet on May 4th via Zoom. We had 3 discussion items. The first is the cell phone loss status. It is a no news is no news scenario. The district is waiting for additional guidance from the Department of Education on their current direction as that may be revised or clarified. In the interim, the administration will continue developing Q&A materials and planning for implementation. The current proposal includes collecting student cell phones at all grade levels, including the high school. This approach has support from the curriculum committee and school and community. While other districts have cited size and logistics as barriers at the high school level, the superintendent believes that these challenges can be effectively managed within our district, and staff feedback to date has been supportive of that approach. Policy updates will be required to support any final approach, and the committee is awaiting further guidance from the Department of Education. We also talked about the AI guidelines and policies. The superintendent expressed a preference not to create a standalone policy given the pace of change in the area. Instead, to rely on the guidelines, but as you showed, Michael, there are a variety of different opinions on the issue, and the board is going to come together on June 10th to reach a final approach. And lastly, the policy committee is considering the adoption of a formal policy on board communications with the public, potentially modeled on the approach used by the Flemington Raritan School District. The request originated from school and community, which is in the process of developing a document on board norms, and in that context, identified a potential gap with the existing policy. And we are currently, the policy committee is currently reviewing the Flemington Raritan policy and evaluating whether a similar framework would be appropriate in our district. I have nothing.
Discussion on any of that.
Okay.
Buildings, grounds, transportation, finance, and safety. Bachelor.
So we met on May 12th. Problems that we covered, the sale of West Samuel, which Tony already covered, that we are sending due diligence, but we do have a potential closing date in July. We talked a little bit about the sale proceeds and the fact that we have to be accounted for next fiscal year due to closing post June 30th. We discussed options of applying the proceeds, like how to apply the proceeds to the debt service. But we have not made a final decision at this time, so we have time to do that. We talked about the turf field, which had all open that same day that we met on May 12th with a win for the girls' flag football team. We discussed the possibility of all of the uses of the new field, how multiple sports will rotate schedules so that all get to use it throughout the fall season. And we also discussed the potential to rent the field for use by private entities. And then things of note that we have on the agenda for tonight, we have a resolution for a capital transfer for some management fees. We have a resolution tonight, a proposed resolution tonight from NJSBA. This is just a resolution to document advocacy, asking the state to fix the state health plan due to extreme rising healthcare costs. And in our financial reports, we will have one change order to come up for turf, not in the agenda this month, but something that will come up in the future. Within our contracts, we have of note something that would impact community. We have a contract to accept with iFree Education, which will allow accepting electronic payment via PaySchool, which is something we already use today for lunch accounts. But this will allow us to accept electronic payments across fundraising, activity fees, and kind of hopefully streamline some of that. We also have a contract on the agenda tonight for USA Architect. You'll remember, we've mentioned in the past, we are due for our long-range facilities plan. And USA Architect needs to help us with that. And also, I was interested in this contract for school radio managed services, which will allow radios on each bus, which I was surprised that, that we didn't have radios on the buses, but the radios will allow, they will use cell towers and allow for location tracking of the radios and just make sure the bus drivers can communicate without using personal phones. We also have, we have an update on the Kiwanis Scholarship. We are adding to that total amount for grant money to support middle school STEM program and archery programs in the middle school. And then on cafeteria, our high school stove has been delivered. And then within transportation, we resolved some issues that we had run into with tickets for failing documentation inspections that went to court. We were able to get one ticket dismissed. You do have to pay a small fine. Processes have been put in place to prevent any future issues. And I forgot, even though I had it noted for myself at the very top, I wanted to note that the softball dugouts were completed. And again, to thank Carl for the in-house work we used to complete the softball dugouts. It saved us in total around $300,000. The contract not to go outside of the district sort of would have been around 174 or something each. So we saved a ton of money and they look great. And it was a lot of hard work. And just wanted to really thank Carl for all of this.
And his response to us was, it was fun.
Oh, yes. He enjoyed it. Win-win. So let me go back to the agenda. I don't remember what items are. So we're at. So we do have items A all the way through R.
And we did one other thing, and I apologize, because this came in after finance. We did get awarded high impact tutoring money, which was nice. So we had that in the past. We got $20,000 awarded from the state. So we will be using that for summer programming, because we think we might be able to access kids a little easier than in the past. We tried to do it after school, which has been challenging. So that's also on there for us to accept.
Have a second for that.
Second.
Ryan, discussion. I did want to note that Jen kind of talked about this a little bit, but we are aligning with the rest of the districts within Hunterdon County and the New Jersey School Board Association and passing this resolution. Anybody who has been following our budget process this year does know that healthcare costs were of particular concern. So we are asking that it be looked at a state level. So every district in Hunterdon County is going to be passing a similar resolution, and all of it will be delivered to the governor. That's it. So
Brian Keeve,
Yes.
Aaron O'Leary, Jennifer Bachelor.
Yes.
John Bonami,
Yes.
Martha Dennis,
Yes.
Paul Palteino,
Yes.
Linda Vitelli, Ronnie Calmarino,
Yes.
Michael Chapman.
yes. Okay, school and community. Before you begin,
Okay.
I might take a little thunder. I do want to take a moment to thank you because you've put in an enormous amount of work on board. And Martha just mentioned it, but that's something that I think is really helpful to our new board members, and then also for us as an entities functioning together. I have to just tell you, I appreciate everything you do.
Are very welcome. It's an important thing. I think it's a document that everybody contributed to, and it's about us functioning well as a team. So we do already, so this is about making us look better. All right, so school and community met. The first thing that we looked at was the school climate and culture survey, which, if folks remember, the climate survey is something that we put out every year to gather information from students, parents, and staff. Because the climate survey can confuse people, we've renamed it. It is now the SHRSD, Tell Us How We're Doing, Your Voice Matters survey. We're trying to keep the questions that we've asked in years past so that we can track, but we made the decision to add questions about AI use and the recently added homework policy. That survey will go out at the end of May, shortly, it's the end of this week is the plan, and will remain open until mid-June. We'll look at that to see if we need to extend it once we get our response rate in mid-June. And then also the correspondence will include information about initiatives. That's one of the things about this survey is it always drives initiatives. And really want to make sure that people understand how much their voice is heard when they're giving this feedback. So that correspondence will include some of that information from years past. We talked about turf fundraising. One of the things that we were patterning our fundraising around was what Del Val did, and we noted the fact that Del Val did this fundraising effort to raise all of the funds for the turf. This is more about having a fund in reserve if there's any maintenance that needs to be done in the future. We are going to be approaching businesses, and we were contacted by a business that does that, but we made the decision that we will go ahead and try, and if we're not successful or really in reaching the goal that we set, then maybe we would use that in the future. We also talked about a local group that's already approached us wanting to rent up there, so that was a wonderful thing. We talked about end of year events and ceremonies, recognizing that graduation and promotion dates are all set and have been communicated to the public. And we talked about the community classroom program and how we wanted to honor the people as we did tonight. The school and community always has an open agenda item for anything that just doesn't fit in another committee. And one of the things that was noted, we had our meeting at the middle school so that we could all enjoy the middle school art and STEM show, which was a great success. There were a lot of broad range of projects and great turnout. So I wanted to make sure that we know that as well. And that is it.
Discussion on any of that.
Can you give any details on the group that's interested in you?
I can say, yeah, so it's an outside soccer entity who is interested in renting it through the summer and the fall, 3 to 4 days a week in the evening. So we're gonna meet with them and just talk. One of the things that we need to do, Peter and I actually met about it today, we have to update our facilities policy because we don't have the turf on there and how much we would actually charge per hour. So that is something that we'll be bringing to finance and to policy probably in June.
For the next item, we need to accept the harassment, intimidation, and bullying report from last month, and then fire drills and safety drills. So I just need a motion.
There's nothing on
Oh, there's no, we don't have fire.
No, man.
it. Yeah, but they don't have to be approved.
No.
Payroll.
The HIB does.
Yeah.
They does.
Okay,
But there's no voting.
there's no fee. So
There's no vote. There's nothing to do.
The board has to vote on whether they to accept the HIB from them.
Aren't there zero?
Yeah.
That's what I.
Okay.
there we go.
Okay, well, moving on then.
Well, except
That,
that there was none. That's a good thing to accept.
that is going to bring us to our next public comment. Again, same as before. You are limited to 3 minutes, and please approach the podium if you would like to share. Not seeing anyone in the gallery. Is there anything online? Okay. Then let's close this period of public comment. We do have a need to go into executive session. We anticipate that being 20 to 30 minutes, and we will not be taking any action afterwards. So please feel free to go and enjoy the beautiful weather outside. Can I get a motion to go to executive session? So moved. Thank you, John. Ronnie, all in favor?
I.